Hello, and welcome to another edition of Walter Butler Sales Motivation 101. Thanks for being here. Today we're going to talk about sales nudging. Have you ever heard that you can't pressure anyone into buying in today's environment? Right? I heard that the other day. I heard that 10 years ago. I heard it 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I'm kind of aging myself here, right? I'm not sure that you could ever pressure anyone into buying, but you can nudge them. A study done not too long ago basically reported that 1 out of 9 people are directly in the business of selling to you. The other 8 of that 9, the other 8 people, or 89% of that study, the other 8 people, they spent 40% of their time in one way or another supporting sales. So basically everybody's in sales in one way or the other. You can't use the puppy dog close or the red herring close or the negative close because everyone's heard of it. That's high pressure selling, but you can nudge them. So let's start out with an example of nudging. We've all been to the grocery store to buy milk. Where's the milk? The milk is all the way in the back, at the very back, and you have to go through row after row of cookies and cakes and pastries. That's so good. My basket is full. Before I ever get back, I have to carry the milk in my one hand and my basket of goodies in the other because they put it all the way back there. They nudge you. Here's another example of nudging. Let's stay with the grocery store and the milk. Customers have a certain sales velocity. Your sales velocity is probably different than my sales velocity, which is different than my wife's. Right? But we all have a velocity, and they notice that relatively narrow rows increase the speed at which people walk through them. Wider aisles, narrow aisles, wider aisles, people slow down. They have more time to look at the goods and to shop. Okay? That's another way of nudging, right? So next time you're at the grocery store, see if the path back to the milk is through wide aisles or narrow aisles. Now, let's just say a certain grocery store, every aisle has to be narrow. Well, how do they slow you down if you're cruising through the narrow aisles? Or they put little kiosks out there and you're cruising by and you look over there. Oh, hey, a Val Kilmer video, new movie for $3.99. This is cool. Oh, look at that. There's roasted peanuts. That's how they slow you down in narrow aisles. They throw little kiosks in there. So, another study found that if you reach out, right, we're just nudging, we're not pressuring. If you reach out and just touch someone's arm lightly while you're talking to them or in a sales situation, the sales close rate went from 51% to 81% just by touching the arm. Another study of waiters, that if the waiter read back to you or repeated back to you exactly in the words that you said, didn't paraphrase it, but used the exact words that you said, your order, their tips went up 70%. That's another way of nudging you if you know how to do it. Let's say also you have good news and you have bad news. Which one do you give first? Well, it depends on the customer. You want to nudge them the right way. If the customer's there, I just came there because my Aunt Sally told me to come. Well, she's in a bad mood, so give her the bad news first. She'll be like, I'm not really, I don't know if I want to buy this, but at least they're honest. All right? Good news. Someone comes in, they've got their checkbook out. Give them the good news first. Okay? That's just another way of nudging our customers as we try to get them to buy from us. Another, and this is maybe the insurance salesman, maybe you go to someone's home to sell to them. Always make sure that they sit in the soft seat. You take the hard seat, they take the soft seat. Because studies have shown that the people in the soft seat have a tendency to buy more. If you go numb down here, you're dumb up there. All right, so that's just another way of nudging. Okay, how about the number of options? Is it better to give them 1 option, 2 options, 3 options, or 20? Ding, 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 ding. 3 is the magic number. 2 is too much. 20 is too much. You don't want to throw up all over them. 2 is too little. If you want to sell a medium, give them a small and a large to go with it. Just nudge them slightly. Okay, so that's all about sales nudging. How many times you call them up. Now you call them up, it may not be high pressure, it may just be a hello, how are you doing? Well, they have found out that after the first call, only 2% of people are closed, but 48% of the salesmen drop out. Second call, 3% of the people are closed, but 25% of the salesman drops out. Now by the time you get to the 5th call, 80% of the people are sold on the 5th call. but there's only 5% of the salesmen left. All right, so those are some ideas, ways to nudge, not push, but to nudge, and nudge your way to success. So until the next time, keep your feet on the ground and your eyes pointed towards the stars. Night, night, goodbye.